On tantrums, parent tantrums. So I had probably my worst parenting moment on Saturday during COVID. My little piece of magic wanted to carry my purse down the street on the ground, which was going to completely wreck the purse. It's not a fancy purse, but still. So I brought her home and she had a meltdown, and I also had a meltdown. Two parents that are all experiencing a new level of stress and anxiety right now. I cannot be the only mother out there who's had a bad parenting moment during COVID. What's your advice?
To your point, to recognize when you are beyond. Even if all you can just say to yourself is no good is going to happen here if I don't distance myself from this problem. I remember I had laryngitis, my car broke down, I had two little kids that were like at this gas station, and all they wanted to do is push the water thing and drain the water cooler and eat the cigarette butts out of the like ashtray, that was an upside down hubcap. Finally, after more time went by, I said, lower my car. I put my kids in the car seat and I said, put it back up. So, and it was like, I couldn't even think with two screaming toddlers. If I was writing my next advice book, would I say this is my go-to answer? But like the alternative was going to be a lot worse. Think about it, even with your kids, and draw a little thermometer. Once you get past 7, usually it's not a good time for negotiating, talking, problem solving. Usually it's just get into immediate self-care. And then you can figure it out stuff later, not to beat yourself up, but to be able to say, this will likely happen again. What will I do next time? And to take our self-care really seriously. Like we need to recover from parenting.
To parents that are not able to take a moment away for themselves, maybe they're on their own for that moment, or maybe they're single parents.
I mean, I'm a big believer of breathing. Breathing actually resets the entire nervous system. Whatever you find peaceful, this too shall pass, or I don't have to be perfect, I just need to survive, or this isn't something personal. Like a lot of times when we get angry, it's because we feel out of control and we personalize what the child is doing, like they're doing it to us. Mm-hmm. They're not doing it to us. It feels personal, but I promise you it isn't personal. They're just a kid. They're doing their best. I'm the adult. This is my best. Sometimes it looks messy.
That's something I really value in the 8 Misbehaving book, is when you talk about what the child is experiencing. Really eye-opening.
Yeah. So kids don't think about it as being good or bad. Mm-hmm. They think of behavior as being effective or ineffective. Once we can understand whether this is about undue seeking of attention, or whether this is seeking for misguided power, revenge, or avoidance is the fourth one, that puts us in a position of understanding what our child's trying to accomplish, how they've learned to accomplish it unwittingly through us, and how we can correct that. It's not, if I was a better parent, my kid wouldn't do this, or they're doing this to me. That's our narrative. And that narrative makes us feel very impotent and out of control and demoralized and like a failure. And that will make us mount a bigger anger reaction to try to get control, to try to win over our kids, or to prove that they can't get away with this. And change the narrative, change the story, it changes the emotions.
Pinterest is full of the COVID crafts, that kind of thing. Yep. But I think there's a lot of parents out there who just do not have the mental capacity to do that.
You're absolutely right. And this is where I'm sort of saying to parents that this is not how people normally live. And if we're going to survive this in the long run, then we really need to think more about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We just need to get along. My kids are trying to homeschool and I'm fighting about homeschooling. Homeschooling's going off the table. It's not helpful. It's not useful. It's breaking social cohesion. You'll catch up later. This can be potentially traumatizing if the adults don't hold it together. If it's not adding, check out.
So parenting in COVID, while parents have to both work full-time jobs without any help and no clear sign to when this is going to end, that's a lot. It's a lot for anybody on a good day.
Yeah.
And this is not a great day.
Feeling unappreciated and feeling upset about an unfair division of labor are the two big reasons that really create conflict in a marriage. You need to wake up every day and hug and kiss your partner and say, together we're better, I appreciate you. A lot of the trigger points for kids is that they have perceived us to have this arbitrary power over them. How do I get chocolate cake? I like chocolate cake. How do I get that in my house? All they know is they go to this big person who is the gatekeeper to their chocolate cake. And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they say no. And it feels completely arbitrary. And you wield this power over them, and it makes them upset. And so we don't think it's arbitrary, because you're probably saying like, well, I don't want her to have the sugar because tonight I know that we're going to have this other dessert, and I know at lunch I got to, whatever the formula was in your head, divided by how much energy she's going to burn off and how much sleep she had, and, you know, divided by the coefficient of whatever. And so it's brilliant decision making on your part. But if you're a kid, all you know is like, you know, cake? No? Cake? Yes. But mostly kids don't know at all how to get stuff except for to demand it and then cry when they don't get it. So we got to give them some other way to get their way, and some other way to be concise so that we don't look like the meanie.
Mm-hmm. Right. I love that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your expertise.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.